All right, Ramblers, let's get rambling. So we are back with another episode of At the Movies, where, of course, as usual, we are here to talk about going to the movies, what we think that movie going experience means to us, and as an exhibitor, what it means to bring that experience to an audience. Today, super light crew. I know I said that last episode, and we had a couple surprise guests, but today it looks like it's just Melissa and I. No one else wants to talk to us.
Nobody likes us, Scott. I'm good. I'm good. I mean, nothing to complain about. You know, it's a holiday week, so it's tough.
True. Everyone's running around, trying to get things done for the holidays.
Yeah. That's what wrapping gift. I don't know what people are doing. I'm not doing anything. Are you doing anything?
Not at the moment. I mean, I'm talking to you. But I mean, I guess there is a little bit of news we can discuss.
Something big did happen this week.
Yeah. So it looks like there was a little bit of a victory for the movie theater industry. So the Congress finally looks like they passed the bill to include movie theaters into the Save Our Stages Act. I'm going to bring up the article here so we can get some deets.
I know the package allocates $15 billion for theaters and other cultural institutions. I'm not exactly sure the breakdown.
Right. So what it says here, I'll just read it out loud. I'm going to probably botch this like I'm Jordan Catalano or something. Okay. Congress announced Sunday that it has finally reached a deal to pass the long overdue $900 billion stimulus bill to send aid to American citizens and businesses leveled by the pandemic, including the Save Our Stages Act to provide around $15 billion in relief to independent music venues, movie theaters, and similar cultural institutions that have been almost entirely shuttered since March. The bill's final text, which was released Monday afternoon, allows the above businesses and institutions to apply for grants from the Small Business Administration to cover 6 months of payroll and costs including rent, utilities, and maintenance. Applicants must have had at least 25% of their annual revenue, have lost at least 25% of their annual revenue to qualify. And those who have lost more than 90% will be able to apply within the first 2 weeks after the bill is signed into law. Grants will be capped at 10 million, and publicly traded companies and other large businesses are not eligible.
So I'm guessing most theaters are going to be in that category. I don't think anyone's made, what those percentages were at all if they've been closed. Yeah, I don't think so. Plus with the lack of content. So that's definitely great big news for this year. And we have also some other industry news. That's my husband singing in the background.
What's he singing? I miss his voice.
I don't know. Yeah.
Is he singing Iron Maiden again?
I'm not sure. Okay. We're on a podcast. What are you singing? What are you singing? He says, you have to tell me if you're on a podcast. Yeah.
Well, now he's on American Idol.
Yep. Now you're on. Now he's on the podcast.
America's Got Talent.
I mean, the other big news is a lot of people are talking about Tom Cruise earlier this week.
Mm-hmm. Tom Cruise made the news yet again. Apparently, he yelled at some people on the set of Mission Impossible 7 who were not actively social distancing.
Yeah. So we don't want to get too far into it, and we're not going to play the audio because we're sure all of you have already heard it. But that definitely was some top movie news this week. And, he did bring up some, emotional and valid points about the industry and how the industry is suffering, and, people are really hurting from the virus. So definitely an interesting week with that news.
No, I applaud him. I know some people were probably thinking he is losing it, or, maybe he shouldn't have taken the extremities that he did. But again, like it's way better than what happened to Christian Bale. It's way better than what happened to Russell Crowe. It's way better than happened to what Mel Gibson did. Like way better. So if we're going to have a celebrity that's going to yell at somebody, yell at them for the right reasons, please. And I think Tom Cruise did that. So
yeah, again, I was saying to Scott earlier today that I thought he could have handled it a little bit differently and a little bit more of, in a more mature way without swearing. But I'm sure he just has a lot of frustration because, they are really trying to get that film done and hold it together for all the people that are working in the industry. So.
I mean, probably it's hard to imagine the pressure that's on his shoulders personally, because again, like it's his production company, it's his film. Like he knows that um, he does provide, work and a way of life for these people, and yeah, he's trying to protect it as much as he can. And some people can maybe protect a little too close or react in a way that may seem unprofessional to some people, but like I have to constantly censor myself on this podcast because I'm one of those people who will swear at everything. Not
I don't
not
think
not
you have to
not
censor yourself.
not out of anger. I mean, he was out of anger, but I think
Yes.
he's got a little bit of justification here.
Yeah.
Um, so those are the big things that are going on in the week.
Yeah. Are you going to
at the
see
moment.
any movies? So Scott and I are both in Michigan, and theaters were just allowed to reopen here, but without concessions. So I do kind of want to dig into that a little bit. But do you plan on going to see anything?
Um, you know, I'm probably still gonna wait it out. If there was one thing that would have brought me back out into the theaters when they were open here briefly in Michigan, it was Tenet, but even that wasn't enough for me to go back, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, I think I'm still waiting for the right content, the right circumstances. Like I want to be back into a theater seat, as soon as
Yeah.
possible, but it can't be in vain. It can't be just because I miss the experience so badly that I'm going to watch a movie that I probably wouldn't enjoy as much, or um, you know, do things too soon before, things feel 100% safe again. So I think I'll probably still wait it out. Maybe a private rental, maybe something like that, where you have a little more control of your circumstances would be okay. Um, but yeah, like I'm still waiting for some of that, later content to come out.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that's coming out in summer.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. And I think it is safe, but I agree the content has to be strong. And without concessions, I've really just, not being in the theater, I'm really curious as to, if that makes sense for the operators. I'm not sure that it's financially viable, but I think they have to test it out and see what they can do and what attendance is like. And Christmas is usually the biggest movie going time of the year, so I think operators that are allowed to be open are trying to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it may not make the most fiscal sense for some people to open if they can't have that lifeline of selling concessions, because that's where theaters make most of their money.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I can understand why some theaters might be hesitant, but at this point, like with going from, almost zero business,
Yeah.
for the better part of 9 months, uh, I would think that some places will want to take it where they can get it. But again, it all depends on the exhibitor, their situation, and whether or not they feel comfortable opening up without being able to provide that whole entire theater experience with concessions and all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be
Hard to
interesting.
say.
I'm feeling, yeah, hard to say. I'm feeling confident that things are, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. The vaccine's widely being distributed now. So I think we will be back in movie chairs very soon, I hope.
I'm
So
hoping so.
are you watching anything good at home?
Um, I mean, when I'm not working on things, I've been, I pick at some TV now and then. Like, for the most part, when I watch movies at home now, it's usually out of a certain level of comfort. It's not to experience anything new necessarily. It's a certain movie will put me into a certain mood, and I just want to feel that mood whether I'm watching it or not, because I could be working in the background or what have you. um, so yeah, I've been putting things on that maybe just give me a little bit of auditory comfort,
Hmm.
sort of like a rain track that some people will fall asleep to. i'll,
Yes.
I'll have i'll have Crimson Tide on in the background because I love that movie. Or what else have I been watching recently? I went on a little bit of a David Fincher kick. I rewatched the first two seasons of Mindhunter, and now that Mindhunter is reportedly not coming back, I wanted more Mindhunter-esque, material. So
Hmm.
I was rewatching Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Gone Girl, going down Fincher's latest. But again, I haven't watched Mank yet because ultimately I wanted to see that in the theater, but it's going to be on Netflix. So I'll get to that one eventually.
Or you
But
could rent an auditorium and watch it.
I could. But yeah, that's one of those. I don't know why I'm so hesitant to watch new things at home right now. Like part of me is almost, trying to savor that moment of like, okay, well, I'm going to save this experience for when it's right. That's why I haven't watched Tenet yet. I could go buy it on Apple TV right now,
Yeah.
but I haven't yet because I still want it in a theater.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pick and choose what I will hold off on seeing until I
I'm
can see it in the
thinking
theater.
Tenet may still be holding too. I mean, the releases for the rest of this month, and it's, end of December right now, but in the beginning of January, I mean, there are some, but I don't know. I think people could bring Tenet back. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. And then maybe you'll get your opportunity to watch it in a theater. So the only new film that I've seen is I was invited to a screening from STX. So I watched Greenland. I love a good disaster movie. So, it was nice to have a new piece of content.
Good old
And
Gerard Butler. He's done
oh,
another one of these, wasn't he in Geostorm too?
I think he was. And I watched that during quarantine. So, I love a good disaster movie. So yeah, it was interesting, and definitely a disaster film.
Yeah. So the things that I have been watching that I feel like I need to correct myself now because there have been a few things new that I've watched, but they're not anything cinematic. Like I also feel I digest things like documentaries better at home for some reason. But I did watch one recently called Tread. It was about did you hear it was like what was it in 2004, I believe. Some guy in Colorado basically fortified a bulldozer with quarter-inch steel panels all around the cab, and then went and wreaked havoc in his hometown and started tearing buildings down. Um,
I did
it's
not hear about
You
this.
didn't hear about this? Yeah. So it's a real event. Like it's been, you know,
Wow.
documented. But
Yeah.
the documentary was really good. It basically talked about like this guy's uh I don't want to say descent into madness because the you don't really get to hear his perspective. They do have an audio tape that he recorded of himself before he went on this tirade, and then eventually, once his damage spree came to an end, he committed suicide before the police got to him. So the only real side of the story you have from him is from this recording that he taped. But really, really interesting documentary about that incident.
Wow. It was in what, 2004 you said? How
I
can I
think
not
so.
remember that?
Well,
Well,
let me look this up. Let me check my facts here. Let me
I've
put
been
this on the
doing
side.
I've been doing a little while you look. I've been doing a little binging with The Crown. I didn't think it was something that I would get into, but it's actually very well done, very good. I know it's not historically like factually accurate, but there's some pieces in there, and it's been very good. I feel like I've learned a lot too of just like behind the scenes, and the acting is very, very, very good. So
I
I've been
forget
enjoying
those.
it. Yeah, been enjoying it. That's
Yeah,
for
not
sure.
not really much else I've really been watching. Nothing really all that new coming out. Just been trying to keep ourselves busy. Like Brandon said, there are things that we're waiting to announce, but we can't yet.
I know.
So
Yes, we've
stay tuned.
been very busy working on a project that we will announce very soon. Um, Excited about that. And yeah, and I think I snuck in like Braveheart, like a little bit of Braveheart last week, I think, and then some of Elf too. But yeah, not much else.
Yeah, not much else here either.
Yeah.
Lots of TV, lots of things that I can just mindlessly watch while something else is going on.
Yeah. I've had a few Hallmark movies in there. Gotta
That
gotta
James
get
is
them
in there.
in. I know. I know. Want to get
Yeah,
him those
those
socks.
are never really my cup of tea. Um,
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, I was trying to get some more information about the actual event, and I just keep on pulling up stuff about the documentary. It doesn't really give you too much um, about the incident, but the guy that perpetrated the incident was this guy named Marvin Heemeyer. Yeah, and he had all these conspiratorial things that like he thought the town was against him and they were trying to shut down his business, and there was like this feud between him and another family, and it just got to him to the point where like he was one of those people that put his foot down and was like, I'm not gonna let people push me around, and he fortified a bulldozer and started tearing down buildings in his town.
Wow.
Terrifying footage when you actually see the real stuff of like how they
Yeah.
were trying to get into this cab. Like the guy like really fortified it, like like 2 quarter-inch steel panels around the entire perimeter of the cab, and then he poured concrete down into all of it. So like the thing was bulletproof. He had like 5 cameras set up on the outside with all monitors set up on the inside so he could see what he was doing and where he was going.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he also had basically set up like rifles on the inside where he could defend himself if necessary. So the guy was, a whack job.
Wow. I don't know. Yeah.
Good documentary though.
Yeah. I might be too sensitive for that one. I like happy stories, happy documentaries. That's for sure.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, we don't have much to talk about this week, you guys.
It's pretty light. We were expecting more people here today, but
Yeah,
it's just
but that's
mostly
okay.
today.
That's okay. I'm enjoying our conversation, and
Likewise.
we thank you all. I mean, this is our last episode of the year.
It is. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So really, thank you all for listening and supporting us so far. And next year's going to be even better. And we're going to have a podcast, once a week?
Yeah, that's our plan.
Yeah.
Now that we actually have a little bit more stuff taken off of our plate, we should be able to produce this consistently. You should be able to tune in once a week and get new content from your friends at the movies.
And if you have feedback or suggestions or things you want to talk about or people you want to see on the show, please let us know. You can email.
If you want to be on the show.
Yes, please let us know. We'd love to have you. You can email me or Scott. It's either Scott or Melissa at filmfrogmarketing.com.
Easy. Simple.
Very easy. We're wishing you all the best holiday season that you can have in 2020 and much brighter 2021.
Yeah, let's hope for it. So before we sign off for our last podcast of the year, anything else you've been waiting to see for 2021? Like, is Top Gun still your number one?
I'm still holding for Top Gun, and I have a t-shirt because I had received it like before quarantine started, because we were getting excited to start marketing it for this year. So I've got my t-shirt, I'm ready to go. No, I'm still holding for Top Gun, but I'm actually really, really excited for 21. It looks extremely strong. 2022 looks insanely strong. So, I'm very confident in the movie going just experience. I think it will be fine. It's going to survive. All these like doom and gloom headlines are just headlines. And this experience is not going anywhere. And I'm so excited to go back. I can't wait. I will never take it for granted again. I am going to be there every week.
Yeah, I probably will be the same. Yeah, so one thing I'm still looking forward to, one thing that kind of reinvigorated my
what are you looking
excitement
forward to
for 2021. So Adam Savage from the old Mythbusters show now has his own YouTube channel called Tested, where he builds things. Since he got his start in movie special effects and things, he worked for Industrial Light and Magic, and he has this obsession with rebuilding prop replicas, on his own, machines and stuff like that. So he's always constantly trying to find the most perfect version of the Blade Runner pistol or of, whatever movie memorabilia he's into. But he's also a huge Ghostbusters fan. And apparently he's also friends with Jason Reitman, the director of the new Ghostbusters movie, who's also the son of the original director. So apparently he's been kind of teasing to the fact that like he's had some involvement with the production of the new Ghostbusters. He can't officially say anything, but that's been kind of getting me super excited about it, that there may be some little Easter eggs for, geeks like me who really get into like the nitty gritty of, our favorite movie universes.
Super cool. That will be very fun. Yeah, there's a lot of content that I'm excited about, but yeah, I still think Top Gun's my number one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. Well, I think this is probably going to be a pretty short episode today.
That's all right.
That's okay.
Tis the season, tis the season. Everybody's really busy. So I think it's fine. And we're just grateful for all of you for listening to us just talk.
Yeah, bantering and bantering on.
So yeah, happy 2021, everyone. Thank you so much for your support and listening to us. Scott, happy 2021 to you as well.
Likewise. And we will talk to you guys next year.
Yeah.